Welcome to the second day of the Staking Summit. My name is Benedikt from Staking Rewards, and I'm joined by Dom from IOTA. Hi, Dom.
Hello, Benedikt.
Very nice having you here. Are you enjoying the summit?
Yeah, it's really great. It's very professionally organized, and I think it really brings together the ecosystem, most important.
Dom, I understand that there's a reason for you being here now. It has got something to do with staking. Please tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, like the funny part is that IOTA is like the old new kid on the block, right? Because this year will be our 10th anniversary since the founding of IOTA. So we're like an OG in this space, and we went through every bear and every bull market and have been building and progressing the tech. And obviously, like we're the new kid now on the staking summit and the staking ecosystem as a whole, because we finally have staking rewards with IOTA. So we've been building and developing and evolving the core protocol. And over the last 2 years, we worked on an exciting new mainnet upgrade where we're completely overhauling the layer 1 and moving to a fully decentralized DPoS-based consensus. And with that, we finally have staking rewards.
This sounds like a really big change. And what was the main reason to go down this road?
The main driver was really that we realized that we have all of these amazing real-world use cases where we have governments and enterprises and also this entire Web3 ecosystem being built around IOTA, but we didn't have programmability on the layer 1, right? And so because we started out the journey with IOTA with building a DAG-based ledger, right, which is sort of like this multi-threaded architecture, that we realized that we needed to really now further take it to the next level and introduce programmability. And so that's why we looked at the MoveVM, and we specifically looked at Sui and what they were doing, and we adapted the technology. And over the last 2 years, we were working on this protocol to get it ready for mainnet release, and now we finally have it here. So we are not just introducing staking rewards, but we're also introducing the MoveVM. So we have Move-based smart contracts on IOTA.
Wow, this is exciting. I understand the launch is literally around the corner.
Yeah, it's a week away. So on the 5th of May, we will finally have fully upgraded IOTA mainnet. And I invite everybody to join. Make sure you have your precious IOTA tokens with you because you can finally stake them.
I'm definitely going to become a staker.
Right.
As a staker, I mean, I'm a IOTA holder.
Very good.
And what can I do with my tokens now? Can I delegate to a validator or to multiple? Or can I liquid stake and put this in DeFi? What are my options?
All of those. Right. So at the start of the network, obviously the focus is on bootstrapping the network. So we're focused on a core set of validators that are going to help to bootstrap the network. And then over the next couple of months, we'll evolve this to 150 plus validators that will then also be selected through the stake that they have delegated by users. So as a user, you can download the wallet and connect your Ledger wallet and then start staking and delegating to validators. And then, as you mentioned, liquid staking, that's really core to our launch strategy as well, to really make sure that we have liquid staking from day one, so that we can really make sure that we can build up the staking ecosystem while also growing up the entire DeFi ecosystem around IOTA.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. How about running a validator? What is the story? Are you going for professional validators at the moment and open up later for, let's say, the smaller validators? What is the plan?
I think it's important to have a diversity, right? And so what we focus on is onboarding many of the biggest and most legitimate professional validators, but that have done this on other networks because we really want their expertise as well in helping to operate the network and to secure it. We also onboarded actually ecosystem projects that are running validators so they can also onboard and build up their community around the staking. And something that we're doing very in a unique way is that we're actually also working to onboard governments, because one of the unique areas that IOTA is focused on with its adoption is really reward adoption, right? So we tokenize reward assets, we bring those legitimate players on chain, and as part of that strategy, we're also actually helping them to run validators. And so this will then also be something that makes IOTA unique, where we have this mixed set of entities that are securing IOTA, because the main objective for us is to be decentralized, to be credibly neutral, to be censorship resistant, and to make sure that IOTA is this open network where anybody can join and participate.
Yeah, let's continue on the participation. In some networks, as a delegator, I can participate in governance. How is it in IOTA?
Governance is definitely something that's very dear to our minds, dear to our core ethos, right? Because we want to make sure that future network upgrades, protocol changes, all get through a governance process, right? This will not be there at the start because it's like something to build, but we really want to gradually get there where all of these changes are being voted on-chain by token holders, also make governance decisions on how, for example, the treasury, community treasury and things like that can be allocated. So while it's not there for the launch, it's definitely something that we want to get to really make sure that we have this fully decentralized governance. And obviously all protocol upgrades will be voted on by the validators themselves from the get-go, right? Because otherwise they're not going to adopt the upgrade, right?
That sounds amazing. What did the summit play any role for you in your go to mainnet, so to say?
I think what you guys really did a great job in is building up an ecosystem around staking, right? And so you are the credibly neutral player that actually can bring together the different layer ones, layer twos, the different ecosystem players, and also the different validators, right? And so I think for us it was very amazing to work together with you guys, right? With staking rewards, and then also meet up with all the different validators that are on our network, with all the different providers and partners, so that we can also meet up here and talk about the launch, which is obviously happening next week.
Wow, this is amazing. Obviously, with the upcoming launch, there are always some heartbeats to watch. Is there anything in particular you're going to be watching over the next days, weeks, and months as we go along?
I mean, the heartbeat is the most important point, right? We want to make sure that we go through the first epochs and make sure that transactions confirm and that there is no downtime. So I think that this is really the main objective of this, to really make sure that we launch this production-ready network with no downtime and making sure that it all runs smoothly, right? Users can be onboarded, stakers have no issues staking and delegating. And so I think it's really about uptime.
So, and you mentioned also that you're going to grow the validator set over time. And when there are many providers here at this conference, and there are probably several watching and closely watching your launch. And what would be your pitch for a provider who's not yet heard about your launch, or who has not yet your validator, to become one in the future?
I think the way that we designed the tokenomics of IOTA is really to make sure that we onboard those who really are committed to the protocol and to the network, right? And so what we're doing is we have 8% base inflation on the token, right? So that means that for stakers, it can be 10-15% APY, which is obviously quite sizable, right? And is a very big incentive for validators to come onto the network, secure it, and to be part of that, right? So I think that's the first part. The second part is we really focus on increasing the token utility of IOTA, and we're doing that by really focusing on real-world adoption, right? So we have some amazing projects that are coming on-chain where actual governments will be issuing transactions on the networks, and as part of that, they're paying transaction fees, and we will burn those transaction fees. So, right, so it's very unique, our tokenomics, where they can potentially even become deflationary. So I think it's a big incentive to actually be early in the network launch and be an early staker and an early validator in the rollout of the entire networks.
Oh, that's amazing. What is the high-level process to become a validator? Is there, can I apply somewhere, or do I go into testnet, or what is the way?
I think the most important step is definitely to be on the testnet, right? Because it is a new piece of software. It can be quite complex as well. There are obviously also requirements on how to be a validator, and that gives you this learning experience as well. And then I think it's permissionless, right? Like anybody can actually spin up a validator and acquire stake. The minimum stake requirement right now is around 2 million IOTA tokens. So I think it's like 300, 400K. Obviously, all of that, our objective as our R&D team is to really gradually remove that even further, to really make sure that anybody can become a validator and that we really fully decentralize this in a way where it is resilient but also really scalable, right? To really make sure that we meet the performance requirements. But anybody can then spin up a validator and be part of securing the network. And then it's really just a race to get as much stake as possible by building up trust in the community as well.
Right. When you were just talking about exciting projects, obviously my curiosity is tickled.
Yeah.
And is there any a project that you could share a little bit more about at this point?
I think the most relevant one is probably the liquid staking token, or liquid staking dApp that we call a Swirl, right? And this is actually something that we've been building over the last few months with a very experienced team on Anchor, who's actually also running a validator and building up a lot of infrastructure there. And so that LST will launch shortly after the mainnet launch, and so then users can actually do staking, earn the staking rewards while participating in the ecosystem. And obviously, hopefully, then in the future, there will also be token airdrops and things like that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Is there, when you approached staking, was there any kind of idol you were following or some good practice that you've seen in other protocols? Because the beauty about the Web3 ecosystem is we work together and learn from each other. And this is also a success factor of the summit here.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of learnings from other ecosystems as well. And I think because we were kind of late to the game as well, we were able to get all of these learnings from them, right? And so I think I wouldn't say that there's like a specific network that we looked at, hey, we want to replicate that, but we did look at it from a viewpoint of like, hey, we want to have this mixed like pool of validators where there's community projects that will be empowered as well, where there's also professional validators, and then also some new sort of partners, customers that are using IOTA on a day-to-day basis, that they also have a validator. I think from a design perspective, what our focus right now is really to make sure that we don't just have this fixed validator set based on staking amount, but then also have sort of like a variable component there where there might be a rotation between validators simply to increase the validator set, right? Because I think that's an important thing for the decentralization of the network that is not just limited to the 150 validators, but that we also give the opportunity for new validators to come on the network and to secure it.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Do you have anything planned on after launch subsequent that you would like to go into detail about to point an intention towards to?
Yeah, we have a lot of amazing campaigns that we're planning right now. Actually, because our objective is really to get the staking ratio of stake of IOTA stakers to 60-70%, right? Because I really believe that we can achieve that because IOTA holders are very long-term holders and really believe in the project. And I think now we can really make sure that the majority of the network is securing it, because then we also have this economic security backing the network, and that in turn will really help us get new use cases and new adoption happening on the mainnet, right? And so this is why we are focusing on campaigns to boost the staking rewards through some incentive programs. We're also doing some other marketing campaigns and promotions by building out the ecosystem, that we also have like a circular economy, right? Stakers, LST, deploying it into DeFi protocols, deploying it into liquidity pools, and then in turn boosting the IOTA adoption.
As a delegator, where do I go to learn about these?
We have an amazing docs site, so you can go to docs.iota.org. We also have a dedicated staking page for IOTA, so I think you can just Google iota.org staking. And obviously, we also have a wallet, right? So you can just download the new browser-based wallet for IOTA. You can see all the available validators in the wallet, and it's a very seamless experience to stake.
That sounds amazing. How do I get in touch with you?
You can contact me on Twitter, or you can contact me on our community on Telegram or on Discord. I hang out in the community a lot, so I think I'm quite approachable. So you can definitely reach out there.
Do you you talk about the community communication there? Where does it happen?
I think most of it happens on Discord, because that's where most of the people are. Obviously, Twitter is really important, where we publish all announcements there. And so I think Discord and Twitter.
It sounds amazing. I wish you the best of luck for the launch. I'll be also closely following and check out how to stake that. Thank you very much, Dom, and continue having such a great success at this conference.
Yeah, thank you, Benedikt.